What up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video, and this is the Monday Night Raw review on October, I'll say 28th, 2024. Again, we're gonna be talking about what exactly went down on the Red Brand show. Made some very intriguing moments and matches, and there were definitely intriguing matches and moments on tonight's Raw. Like it was, we had, even the mid card matches were. The mid card matches were even very decently good and very what's say interesting in watching. Like if you follow up, if you follow the story, I guess you could say, of course. We got some teasers about the Bloodline feud with the OG Bloodline against the new Bloodline. Possibly could see Sami Zayn could even join a Bloodline member, but it kind of teased like who he should choose. Because we definitely had some teasers, and they seem like he could choose one of them. But even though he did say like he did not want to join nobody into this and get out, he wants to stay out of this, and he suggests Jey Uso to do the same. But we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But again, speaking of Bloodline, this is where we got the main Jey Uso came out, cut a promo, a very smooth and what's it called? A very smooth and very cool promo, I guess you could say. I'm not sure if cool, I'm not sure exactly if that's the word to use to describe. But he was just mellow. I guess what I'm trying to say, he was very mellow as a cucumber. That's where he was like, it was like, I've lost my Intercontinental Championship last week. Fans were started yeeting, and this is where he's like, it was all thanks to the Bloodline. But guess what I do? I headed over to SmackDown 4 days later and cost them their championships, the Tongans, which was the WWE Tag Team Championship. It looks like the tag team champion version of the Intercontinental Champion, by the way. And also, this is where then he said, and that's where he's like, but right now I want to talk to one person in particular, and that's a Uso, and then this is where we all know who he was referring to, and it was Jimmy Uso. This is where he's like, hey brother, and this is where they have a handshake, a hug, and I believe they look like they're about to speak to one another, but they end up getting interrupted by somebody that was coming from the right side. It was none other than the Tongans, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga. This is where Jimmy and Jey Uso start laying out some fists right onto the faces of the Tongans. This is where Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu was in the right corner side. This is where Solo Sikoa's like out of the evens to Jacob and pointed right in the ring to help your cousins Tama and Tonga. And this is where then he did so. This is where he outnumbered both Jimmy and Jey Uso. This is where he headbutts Jimmy, super kicks Jey, and this is where then he grabbed Jimmy right up and start hitting more headbutts to him. And this is where then we got Tonga Loa tosses Jey Uso actually right to the bottom left side. He splashes right onto what's his name? Tama Tonga, splashed right onto Jey Uso. That's where we got the Tonga. This is where fans start chanting for OTC, hoping that Roman Reigns is going to be there to help out his cousins, the Usos, from their other cousins. This is where then we got Jacob Fatu start stomping right onto the Jey Uso. This is where he then try to go for a hip tap with the chair wedged around Jey Uso's neck that had the little bottom piece of the chair right into the face. Is where Jacob Fatu, and then this is where he start doing the little prayer things like, I worship my tribal chief. And this is where he try to go for run a hip tap. But luckily Jey Uso got back up, grabbed the chair, and threw it right into the face of Jacob. This is where he didn't roll out of the ring. And this is where Jey Uso must have said in a whispering voice, if the next time you try to look at me sideways, you're gonna be worse than the chair shot. This is where then he go for a super kick on the Tonga Loa. This is where he got This is where we got Jimmy Uso super kicks Tama Tonga. This is where we got Jey Uso super kicks Jacob Fatu. This is where Jacob Fatu's like, scream. They try to go for double clothesline to both the twins, but they duck, go for a double super kick right onto them out of the ring. This is where they took off their jackets. This is where Jacob Fatu's like, this won't be the last time you see us, the Bloodline. And that's where then, yeah, Jey Uso's music started playing. This is where then they're like, yeah, this is where they were. This is where then we got, but this is where we got, Jey Uso, Jey Uso was it's like, like we're gonna, we're coming after you, Uso, and you're gonna be seeing us again this Friday on SmackDown, which we definitely are gonna see them, but not really like for excuse me, but we're gonna see him, but it's for like something that is gonna be teasing for the what they call War Games, but at the same time for Crown Jewel, which I think is too soon for the original Bloodline should have a match with the new Bloodline, even though it's probably gonna be like not exactly a 8-man tag match, let's just say, but. Well, before we get into that, I also want to talk about that this is where we got Sami Zayn. Then he tried to talk to Sami Zayn. This is where Sami Zayn's like, I want to talk to you. This is where Jey Uso's like, okay. But he's like, alone. This is where Jimmy Uso gave him that stare. Like, what is that supposed to mean? This is where he went face to face him. This is where he's like, okay, brother Jey, like, I'm going to go to the locker room. This is where Sami Zayn's like, what's up with you trying to reform with the original Bloodline with both Jimmy and Roman Reigns? This is where Jey Uso's like, look, like, Roman has changed now. Like, and you got to understand, like, Solo cost me my Intercontinental Championship, and also it was only a matter of time for him to be going after all the family members that used to been in the Bloodline, and he's worse than Roman Reigns. That's where then that's what Sami Zayn but he's like, but Soul Cole's not the one that got into your head and what's that called? Got into your head and make you do horrible things and did horrible things to you. Like that was Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso. And give him a little fresher of a reminder. That's where it's like, that's why we both left the Bloodline. And that's where then Jey Uso responded right back at the end saying you don't understand because you're not family. And this is where he walked out of the hallway area. This is where then he told Jimmy Uso about that. Like told him that I told Sammy that we's not family. This is where then Jimmy Uso's like, that's true, true, bro. And this is where then we got Seth Rollins heading out to the ring because he's the visionary and the revolutionary, and he's Seth, and then he put the microphone in the air for fans say freaking Rollins, which welcome them to Monday Night Raw, but it's where he discussed business about Bronson Reed. He is indeed a monster. But he has to know one thing, so am I. And then this is where then we got Bronson Reed got up on the screen before he can even say anything else. Where he's like, oh, look here, ladies and gentlemen, it's Seth freaking Rollins. And then this word, then he gave an evil look. This was like, look, Seth, I promised Adam Pearce that we don't have a repeat what happened last week. Get any physicality. And I'm not gonna go out there. That's on YouTube. But Seth Rollins, if you want to hunt down a monster, and I'm right here in the parking lot. And then this where Seth Rollins monster in the parking lot. And I just call myself a parking lot. Technically, this is not inside the building in Hershey. Even though we're still being Hershey in the parking lot of this venue, he was like, and this is where then he responded back saying, don't move, big man, I'm on my way. And this is where he dropped the microphone. This is where he accepted Bronson's offer of brawling into the parking lot. This is where Adam Pearce tried to stop him before he even went to the parking lot, when he was about 20 feet away. This is where Adam Pearce was like, what the hell are you doing? Just because I said not inside this building doesn't mean I did not say that that didn't occur to outside in the parking lot as well. This is where it means anywhere from each other, go face to face, especially when it comes to the show, like, but even if it's not on the show, like, you still not gonna cannot get any physical, like, to any one another. This is where Seth Rollins ignored him. This is where they start brawling, start beating the hell out of each other. This is where the security guards had to push him out, but this is where Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed tossed him right into the corner. This is where we got Bronson Reed tosses Seth Rollins right onto the hood of the car. But before he can even pick him up and on his shoulders, where Seth Rollins grabbed him to the what's called what's that called? This trailer door, like on this trailer truck. This is where then he slams it right across his face, starts smashing him out. Like, and this is where I was like, and I was like, how did he get? He's not phased by this, but like, because he did not hit him once or twice, but like about, I'll say 3 separate times, if I'm not mistaken. When Seth Rollins hits a massive curb stomp right off to the crates, like, that was hanging right in the side, so a curb stomp him right into that exact same hood of the car that Bronson Reed tossed him in. This is where then looked like he was down for the count and looked like he had to go to the nearest local medical facility or even hospital, whatever you want to call it. This is where then the security guards was like, okay, that's enough. And this is where Rollins was like, I promise the world that you don't have what I'm capable of. And then that's a reminder, like, that's just a little taste, like, because, like, this Saturday, before he can even finish the sentence, this is where then Bronson Reed got back up, knocked out all the security guards, where Seth Rollins and tried to hit some punches and super kicks on the Bronson Reed, but he did not. He was hardly phased on it. This is where then Seth Rollins hit him with this briefcase right into the face that was right in the corner, and this is where then Seth Rollins was thinking of doing another massive curb stomp, right, but this time right through a table when he was right inside this little trailer for the 18-wheeler. This is where he's trying to go for a curb stomp. This is where Bronson Reed hits him right in the face. This is where Adam Pearce was screaming on the top of his lungs, like, that's enough! Like, get down from there. This is where then Bronson Reed did not ignore him. Absolutely. This is where he did not listen to him and ignored him. This is where he picks Seth Rollins up finally on his shoulders, like if it was a guaranteed finisher, like, because the first attempt was not successful. This is where he picks him up behind his shoulders, which is my finishing maneuver, the most dominating move in all of professional wrestling, and that is the SAS Valley Driver. Well, he calls it the Death Valley Driver, and he did it right through the announce table, not announce table, the regular table, Tabitha, not Alan. But anyways, this is where we got the war. This is where we got the number one contenders match for the War Raiders against the War Raiders and the War Raiders and what's the names, the LWOs, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee against the New Day with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Like, when the War Raiders were dominating probably the first half, like, like Rey Mysterio and Kofi Kingston tried their best of fighting off like Eric, like. And I like the way they did the number one contenders. This number one contenders triple threat finals tournament match, like, into a triple threat, like, with all the different teams, like, are legal men. Like, they only have one each of a legal man, not rather than waiting for one team to wait to get tagged in by one of the other teams, which I don't get that. Like, I just think it should be, like, if it's called a triple threat tag team match for a reason, like you might as well just do it this way, which they did. And that's what Triple H probably thought of, like, in creative, like, how the match rules in the triple threat. All right, but this is where we got, Kofi Kingston got the hot tag right back in. Like, Xavier Woods was outnumbered by Ivar, but this is where he started going for comeback moves, not only to Ivar, but also to Mysterio as well, because it was a triple threat match. And every man for himself is where Kofi Kingston go for a flying clothesline. It's where he body slammed Mysterio right into the corner side. This is where then Kofi Kingston's like, I got two guys, like, I can win right here for me and Xavier. This is where he shot a New Day, which he gets the boom drop, like, I guess that is a signature maneuver. This is where he tried to go for what's that called? What's that? A Trouble in Paradise. This is where then Kofi Kingston tried to go for a Trouble in Paradise. This is where Ivar counters out of it. This is where Rey Mysterio tried to go for clothesline, but he ducks out of the clothesline. He hits the SOS, but he would have probably gotten away with it if it wasn't for that meddling dragon that's teaming with Mysterio, and that is Dragon Lee. This is where but before he can even go for the save, Kofi Kingston spotted him a mile away. Perhaps I'm not sure if this was a good idea to get off of Mysterio. This is where he threw Dragon Lee right up to the left side. This is where we saw and we got Eric try to go control on him, but he throws him right out as well when he pulled down the ropes. This is where we got Xavier Woods go for a baseball sliding kick onto the three guys, with Ivar try to go for a wheel kick. But this is where we got Kofi go for a roundhouse kick right onto Ivar, sends him right to the outside. This is where then he goes for a flying Kofi Mania dive maneuver onto everybody. Like you always do in multi-man tag team matches. But this is where we got Kofi Kingston was in the ring with Dragon Lee because he tagged in eventually Rey Mysterio. This is where they were right up on the top rope after this. And this is where he gets knocked right over down into the ropes. This is where then we got. That's where we got Dragon Lee go for a double stomp. He ducks out of a clothesline that Eric tried to do. This is where he goes for a rolling flip into a DDT, which he knocked out your bald Viking Raider. This is where guys Xavier Woods tried to go for a clothesline. He ends up getting pump boot right into the face to Xavier Woods. Then go for a drop kick to Ivar afterwards. This is where Dragon Lee tried to go for the double drop kick like if he was his brother that's on the other company. This is where he tried to go for the middle drop kick right into the bottom corner ropes. This is where he tried LWO right before he did so, right into the face. And I guess it runs deep in the family for doing that drop kick maneuver as a luchador. This is where he tried to go for a 1 and a 2, but Ivar gets that double axe handle for the save. We got Dragon Lee going for a sunset flip powerbomb onto what's his name to Kofi, like right when everybody was off the top rope. It looked like it was about to be a trio of woe, kind of not trio of woe. I'm talking about not trio of woe, of Tower of Doom, like with Rey Mysterio have Eric on top and Kofi try to join the fun, and then what's his name and Dragon Lee tried to go for a sunset flip on the Kofi. That tried to go for like a German suplex maneuver, while Rey Mysterio go for a suplex, like some kind of a triple Tower of Doom, I guess you could say. But this is where we got, or a quadruplet. This is where Rey Mysterio go for Avalanche, Hurricane Rana. We got Dragon Lee try to go for a sunset flip powerbomb, but it got stopped by Xavier Woods. This is where we got Dragon Lee going for a cannonball flip onto Xavier Woods once he what's they call take what's his name Xavier Woods out of the ring. I guess that's sort of revenge right there, which Xavier Woods going to hold grudge on next week on Raw and on November 4th. This is where we got Rey Mysterio trying to go for a dive, but Chad Gable trips right over. He goes for an ankle lock, trying to twist him and trying to break his ankle like if he's the new Kurt Angle. Luckily, like the fans were not chanting, but even though Chad Gable's not phased of that chant, like from the fans, is where we got, but it's where like it was a disadvantage for both Mysterio and Dragon Lee because they were getting taken out by the American Made, while Kofi was in the ring along with the War Raiders. This is where we got Ivar pop Kofi up while what's his name hits this like a. I got him up into into a wheelbarrow German suplex maneuver while what's his name Ivar springboards right in the bottom corner and close on him off of Ivar's arms. This is where they hit the German suplex springboard clothesline combo. The what they call it to gain the victory, and the winners of this match, the War Raiders. And do you think they're gonna beat Finn Balor and JD McDonough next week, or whenever they're gonna have this World Tag Team Championship match? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But moving on forward, we got Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser, which I definitely think this match was totally the second place spot of the best match of the night. While I'll say the War Raiders and Kofi and Xavier Woods and the LWOs Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee was the bronze trophy of the night. And even the other matches that's going to be up next, like they was very entertaining as well. And yeah, But yeah, well, next up we got Sheamus. Yeah, this is the silver trophy, which the golden trophy goes to the number one contenders main event match for with Dominic Mysterio and this certain former world heavyweight champion that he's going to be facing off against. I was thinking to myself like since it's not Sheamus and it's that it could be one of the two I just said. That was what end up since it's not Sheamus, of course, like it could be either CM Punk or Damian Priest, and let's just say it was one of them, which I'm not going to talk about until at the end of the video. But this is where we got this is where it start off with Ludwig Kaiser taking strikes and hitting them with the first offense, and this is where he then hits Sheamus face first right into the ring post, try to go for a second time. Sheamus then passed off his pick. That's where he crashed Ludwig Kaiser's head right into the ring post like about 5 straight times, if I'm mistaken. This is where Sheamus then hit a knife edge chop, which I believe he got like a number 10 spot in Gunther's MVS of the night, even though that only occurred. Even though the biggest major numbers on the list goes to the guys in the other company, or even guys that just left that company to go to WWE, whether if it was in NXT or the main roster. But this is where we got Sheamus going for a power bomb right onto the right through the announce table, but it's where it gets guillotined by Ludwig Kaiser. This is where Sheamus spears him back first right at the symbol of the steel steps in the upper right side. This is where the Sheamus got him right back in the ring. This is where then he tried to go for 10 beats to the boring, right in the right corner side, just beating him. The fans start counting along with the Celtic Warrior, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is where then we got Sheamus heading up right up in the upper right corner side on the top rope, trying to go for either the claw hold clothesline or the shoulder block. I think it was a claw flying clothesline, I guess you could say. Something that like the Undertaker or Kane would do, but this is where he gets kicked out at 2.4. This is where Sheamus trying to pick up Ludwig Kaiser right up on the top rope, right up on the middle turnbuckle, like to try to go for a white noise. But this is where Kaiser flipped right out of it. This is where he tried to go for a sunset flip onto on the Sheamus. This is where he then hits a slap chop right onto the back of Sheamus. This is where he picks up the Celtic Warrior. This is where he tried to go for a power bomb right onto the Celtic Warrior. This is where we got Ludwig Kaiser going for a leg swiped kick right into the face. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where Sheamus kicks out at 2.8. This is where Ludwig Kaiser was throwing a tantrum to Sheamus, started hitting the right hand, but Sheamus is like, all right, like you think you big, bad, and tough, like come on, give me more. And this is where then Ludwig Kaiser start continuing to do more, but Sheamus then starts slapping him right back, started with the chest, super kicks him right in the midsection, runs right to the left side, trying to go for a running axe handle, but this is where Ludwig Kaiser slaps him across the chest. This is where he tried to go for that insecurity kick, but this is where Sheamus broke knees him right to the face. This is where he tried to go for the bro kick in the left side. He did so, and this is where he got the 1, 2, 3 that way. Winner of this match, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. And some might say that WWE picked the wrong person to win, but it does not even matter. Like as long as you're making both wrestlers involved strong, including the up and comer that even is taking the L. Like as long as they look strong in defeat, that's all that matters. Like just as much as you want them to win, like. It's not like that. Like his push is gonna end like just because he lost to Sheamus. Like if that was the case, they would have did like loser leaves brand match, or loser leaves the company match, like with them leaving the company that way. Like been a waste of talent right there. But yeah, it's not like he's been losing all of his matches. Like not entirely, at least. Maybe he should be winning more, but yeah. But yeah, Sheamus probably kind of did need this win as well, and just to show that he's a credible figure in the division on WWE, and I hope that he does be the one to beat Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship, but probably not until WrestleMania. But moving on forward. Here we got a promo vignette with Rhea Ripley, but saying like It is where the Rhea Ripley, like so Raquel, like even though I as much as I would like to talk about Liv first, like, but I have something important to tell you. Like what's the name? Like Big Mama, like you thought you were gonna paint yourself in a little pretty picture. Like if you didn't deserve the deserve the beating that I gave you last week, like in and I thought you said, like you should keep your enemies close. And, I mean, yeah, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And it is where Rhea Ripley's like, see, the difference between you and I, Raquel, like you betray me, like it was with malice and ego. Like what everything I done to you and Liv has been deserved. And if I made mistakes in the past, like yeah, you damn right I did make mistakes, and I'm gonna admit it right here, right now. But right now, like it seems like you, I'm gonna admit right now, like, but also I'm gonna admit right now is that you two, like that you that have a little choir of this little choir that you have of yeah, I'll say of a choir of obnoxiousness that you created, like in my I got in my gut right now, like with making me sick to my stomach or something like that. Like I don't know if I'm even saying this correctly, but anyway, this is where she was like, but my point is like you're on my way to but my point is like she said like you're like they're basically in her way of what she want was back was hers, like even though she yeah, like even though she got like a partial revenge on the Liv, but she still has something that she wants the most, and that's that women's world championship that she won against Becky Lynch when Becky Lynch won it, when Rhea Ripley was put on the shelf when she had to vacate that title. And Rhea Ripley's like, and I will be that championship again. Again, the only way that you're going to stop me is by killing me. And y'all like, yeah, like this. It seemed like this Rhea, like as long as she finds a way to learn from the past mistakes or those that try to interfere in the match, like whether if it was Dirty Dom or Raquel, she's gonna have a plan for that in order to take back what's hers, and that is the Women's World Championship. Do you think she has that plan? Like, do you think she have a plan like that now? Like with the excuse me. But anyway, yeah. Like, do you think she has a plan like that right now, or do you think that you think that she's still working on that? Like, and do you think that she working on that, like the in order to use it as her advantage, like in her next upcoming Women's World Championship match against Liv? And if you think she's gonna win the Women's World Championship, when do you think it's gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be Survivor Series or on a later date? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. And do you think Rhea deserves another shot? And do you want to see Rhea like in a rematch against Liv Morgan? Like since she's been screwed out of the match twice in these title matches against her former tag partner, now Evil Enemy. But that's where then but yeah, that's why I was like, wow, like this is a more angry and I think this Rhea Ripley that you definitely do not want to mess with. Like she'll do she'll do anything and go past any obstacles and go past and go climb up each and every highest mountain in the world in order to take back what's hers, and that is that Women's World Championship. And with those very strong words that Rhea has, like I would not be trying to agitate Ripley, like unless they have something to back themselves up of taking her out. But that's gonna be easy said than done, I guess you could say. Like more likely said easier rather than doing it more easier. But let's move on to the next slide. We got Zelina Vega versus Ivy Nile. This is where we got things start off with Zelina Vega slapping the taste out of Ivy Nile's mouth. This is where then we got Zelina Vega's got the spine buster right to the bottom right side. This is where we got And then we got Ivy now going for a super kick right into the face. This is where Ivy now is like, yeah, like American made. And this is where did she try to go for a splash. But this is where we got Zelina moving out of the way. This is where did she try to go for a leap. I mean, this is where she leaps, right? When Ivy now try to go back to her, try to spear her right off the rope to the left side. This is where we got Zelina Vega going for a meteor right off the top rope. This is where we got Zelina Vega going for going back in the ring. This is where she throws Ivy now out of the ring. This is where back in the ring. This is where this is where Zelina Vega started doing a little shimmy like into like a little I'll say like a little like if she's celebrating if she won, which I think she just saved like right before. Right after, why I say before, right after, like she defeats Ivy now, but unfortunately, she decided to do it, right at that time instead of waiting till afterwards. This is where this was also a big mistake with Ivy Nile of getting right back up and pulling her off the top rope, try to go for a suplex onto Zelina, but this is where Zelina flips right over, hits a stunner that looked like a stunt dog millionaire that Orange Cassidy would have done. This is where we got Zelina Vega going up in the top rope. And this is where then she goes for the moonsault. This is where then we got Zelina going for a pin. This is where she knew we got the 3, but this is where we got Ivy now kicking out at 2.7, 2.8. Zelina Vega like, oh, come on. This is where she try to go for a right hands too. Ivy now is where then she goes for a flying head scissor. This is where we got Ivy now going for a German suplex. This is where then, but this is where the referee count to 1, referee count to 2. This is where we got you got Zelina Vega kicking out at 2.8, if I'm not mistaken. This is where we got